Hi, I'm Sydney, and today I'm here with Travis, and we're going to be talking about
The Shining.
So Travis is my boyfriend.
I love you.
I love you too. Let's just jump right into it. Travis, do you remember the first time that you saw The Shining?
The first time I saw The Shining was with a girl who wasn't you. Because I hadn't met you yet, so I didn't know that I was in love with you yet. Can't even remember her name, but she showed me The Shining.
Cool. When you saw it, what were your first impressions? Were you scared by it, or were you just...
I was just starting to get into horror films and scary stuff because I was never exposed to that when I was younger because my mom hates it and my dad doesn't care about movies. So I was just starting to watch that kind of stuff and I liked The Shining right away. I'm not into gory, scary stuff more.
Yeah.
I'm more into psychological kind of stuff where there's more suspense and everything like that, and that's what Shining
Was
has,
this
I
the
think.
first Stanley Kubrick movie you'd seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen other ones, actually?
I've seen 2001.
Oh yeah, duh. Okay, you've seen 2001.
I haven't seen Clockwork Orange. I haven't seen Full Metal Jacket. I've seen them.
Wide Shut.
No, I haven't seen that. I don't know.
Okay. We need to get to it then and watch some more. Let's just dive right into the plot of the film. Movie starts, and I feel like it's only mentioned once and so subtly, but the hotel's built on Native American burial grounds.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has a ton of conspiracies, I guess, surrounding the movie. One of them being Kubrick. This was his expression of American brutality to the Native Americans and the consequences that they're suffering because of those choices.
Okay.
That's one conspiracy. Another...
That would be totally on Kubrick because that wasn't in the book at all.
For sure. I mean, for now, we'll just kind of stick to the movie. But I do definitely want to hear your input on what the differences are from the book. Stephen King doesn't even like the movie. He's like, this isn't my story, basically, you know? So I think it's easy to kind of nitpick those.
Well, why did he choose to make that part of it?
Yeah, was the hotel even built on Native American?
No, I don't think that was mentioned at all in the book. There's nothing about that.
Okay.
So why would Stanley Kubrick put that in the movie? Did he just have a...
Well, it's just a theory as far as the overall theme of the film, but as far as that detail, that's why people think he was so intentional with details in that manner that they feel like it has to be part of a deeper meaning and plot, theme.
It just seems like such a strange thing to intertwine. Why would you mix this horror Shining story with the plight and hardship of Native Americans and how we mistreated them?
Well, I think all horror films on a level have a deeper meaning to them. I think that it's totally just an opportunity maybe for Kubrick to express his ideas through a disconnected storyline. I don't know.
So he liked to tell another...
a side commentary that's supposed to make you think on a deeper spectrum, maybe. Okay, so that's one of the conspiracies. The other conspiracy being this is his way to tell the people that he filmed the first moon landing.
Yeah.
Have you heard this? You've heard this, right?
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. That doesn't make sense. Why? Because Danny wears the moon jacket?
I don't know. There's a lot. I don't want to
sweater?
dig too deep into it because I feel like I'm not even informed enough on the conspiracies to make a formal choice of what I believe. A long time ago, I watched the documentary Room 237,
Yeah,
but
I've seen that.
I don't really remember even then. Do you think that there is a deeper message that Kubrick is trying to relay, or because he formally hasn't said for himself, do you think it's not our choice to say what it means and we just need to watch it, or what's your opinion on that?
I don't think the moon landing thing is... I think that's a total conspiracy.
Okay.
I think that's just coincidental.
Okay.
That makes no sense. Why would... Well, I just don't believe that the moon landing was fake, so that's why I don't believe it.
Okay.
But I could see the Indian burial ground thing being a portion.
A portion, maybe, of that.
Of
Yeah,
him. Because that's a historical event and that he just wanted to highlight or something.
Maybe. I mean, and I'm blanking right now on what year Poltergeist came out, but it's the same exact concept in some ways of their home is built on burial. It's not Native American, I don't think,
right.
but their home's built on burial grounds and they're suffering the consequences of that.
That just seemed like a plot point though to make it why was it haunted? in Poltergeist.
True, but you could ask the same thing about The Shining. Like, why is this hotel haunted?
I think it has a history farther back than the
Native Americans?
Than the native. Oh.
Boom!
You know what I mean? So, like,
But none of the, like, ghostly things that go on seem
Connected
Native American-ish. Like, they're not like a big chief who's chopping your head off and scalping you.
Sure.
It's all, like, guests who have visited the hotel and they've been bad, and then they've killed people or they've died in the hotel or something like that. That's, like, the lore of the Overlook.
On the conversations, everybody, just mouth them. Don't speak, and don't nod your heads when you're talking. Just talk naturally to each other.
I think how I interpret it is that because especially it's literally mentioned once in the very beginning of the film, I think I look at it as the hotel being built on the burial grounds is the starting point, and then from there it was just like cursed. So yeah, you're right. I don't think it's like the Native Americans are like haunting it or something like that, but I feel like that was the base of the cake for like
The base
the
of the cake?
horror. I don't know.
The horror cake?
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that was like the starting point of like bad juju. There are a lot of supernatural undertones to this film, whether it be the Shining, telepathy powers that Danny has, or like the ghosts and stuff. Do you think Tony is anything deeper than just his imaginary friend, or do you think that there's something greater behind that?
Just going off the movie, I think it's his way, it's Danny's way of shining and getting information, like, you know, getting visions or kind of reading people's minds-ish sort of stuff. And that's his way of it getting relayed to him. Like, he created Tony in his mind to tell him the things that he is getting from the Shining.
Okay, so, but it's like
abilities.
a self-created, like an imaginary friend. It's just like a self-created thing that doesn't have any actual substance to it.
Yeah, I don't think Tony was at one time like a ghost or is a being or something like that somewhere. I think he created it just to rationalize it in his mind, like where he's hearing these voices and getting these stories from. It's just that Tony told him.
Is that pretty much how it is in the book too? Is Tony brought up in the book?
Tony's really big in the book.
Really?
Yeah, Tony like talks to him and tells him things that are going to happen, and Tony's always like far away. He never can really see his face clearly. He's not like a finger. Tony's like a person in his mind. Eventually Tony like is gone and can't talk to him, and Tony's like trying to help him. It's almost like Tony's like a good spirit or something helping Danny in the books.
When you read the book, are you picturing Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picture all the characters.
Yes, I would be
from
hard
the
not
movie.
to.
But it's like the characters from the movie who I love are just telling me more.
Yeah.
So I kind of enjoy it more.
Yeah. Jack's alcoholism plays a role later in the film, with it being like a luring temptation for him when he's starting to go crazy, cabin fever, and then the ghosts provide that for him. Do you think the ghosts are real? Or are they just a figment of his mind because he's losing it?
No, ghosts are real.
Yeah.
They're totally real because the proof is that the door
The
to the freezer opens. That's the proof.
Yeah. I think so too. I would agree with you on that. It's just interesting to me that it's still kind of a debate.
There's no debate. How can you? What's the counter argument to the freezer door?
I think it's just a different perspective. I don't even think it's an argument, but I have read online that some people want to read deeper into it, that it's just Jack losing it. But then, you know, Wendy later is like running through the hotel and she sees these skeletons and stuff, so
That's true. She really sees it.
yeah,
It's
so I
not
think
just-
there's ghosts too. I agree.
Case closed.
Case dismissed.
The ghosts are real.
Okay.
The Overlook is haunted for whatever reason.
Actually haunted.
Yes.
Okay, well then here's another point. What is the deal when Grady the waiter spills on Jack and they go to the bathroom and then Jack's like, you're that guy who killed his family here. And then Grady says to him,
You've always been the caretaker.
Yeah.
what's that about?
I still don't get it.
Okay. Do you have any theories about what does that mean?
I really don't know. Unless Jack is not a real person all from the beginning or something.
Yeah, because of that picture and stuff. Well, I'll tell you some things I read online. I read Stanley Kubrick did comment on the photo at the end of the film by saying, quote, the ballroom photograph at the very end suggests the reincarnation of Jack. And the concept here is that Grady was once a waiter in the hotel, like in the 20s, died, and was brought back as this caretaker and kills his whole family. Jack was also associated with the hotel, died, comes back as a caretaker. The hotel tells him to kill his whole family, and that it's this cycle of reincarnation of like the hotel bringing people back to where they worked and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, those are implications based off of what he said about reincarnation.
I mean, that makes sense, but it's why?
And I guess you could go back to that Native American thing, that people are like doomed to be like, they're stuck there.
You're forever cursed.
Yeah.
Even if you get, even when you're reincarnated.
Sure.
As the exact same person.
Why not?
You look exactly the same.
Sure. Why not? You could say anything. There's so many like conspiracy ideas, you know?
That's what I like about this movie, but that's also what's frustrating as hell. Mm-hmm. Is I just want answers. Mm-hmm. But I do like that we can conspiracize about it. For
sure. Is red rum in the book?
Yeah.
It is in the book.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty big. I think maybe Tony's telling him red rum or something, but Danny keeps getting visions of red rum and seeing it. And then he finally realizes that it's murder. But why, like my question is, why not just say murder? Why are they saying red rum?
Does Danny not know what it means and then he figures it out finally? Or how does that play out?
Yeah, Danny doesn't know what red rum is.
Okay, well then
he even
that's
says
why
it to his mom. He's like, I keep hearing red rum, and she's like, what's? She's like, red gum, you know? He's like, no, red rum. And then she's like, I don't know what that is, and he's like, I don't know either. Yeah. And then she tells Jack, and Jack's like, red rum, like no one knows what it is. Okay. Danny doesn't know, but then I think he sees it in the mirror, however he finds out.
Well, that's the thing too, is like it's such a big reveal in the film. Like he writes it on the wall and then like or on the door, and then Wendy sees it through the mirror and she's like, oh, you know, it's such a big reveal.
Like as she's getting red rummed. Right?
As she's getting murdered?
Yeah.
Well, she lives.
But it's when Jack is attacking her,
it's like right before that, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But why is it red rum, and why does Tony say red rum and not just say murder? Just for the movie effect? Just for story effect?
Yeah, I think it could be, one, it builds tension for sure in that aspect, but two,
that's lame.
If Tony is this being who's there trying to help him, maybe there's like some sort of barrier of communication there and it's coming out as red rum to Danny. Maybe for some reason Danny's just saying it backwards.
I don't know.
And he's like, what is this?
That doesn't make any sense to me. I want a story explanation for that.
I think I can just kind of accept it and move on.
That's where, you can accept movies for what they are and what they give you, but I need to know why.
I delve in more and I want to know why, but I think once I hit a certain point, like thinking about red rum, I'm like, it would be interesting to know more details, but it's effective standing on its own, so it's
we
fine.
should get Stephen King on this video
Hey,
channel.
Stephen.
I have some questions for him.
Oh my god, yeah, I would ask him.
What kind of underwear he wears?
Yeah.
MeUndies. Visit MeUndies.com/scaredpale.
What is the most memorable scene in the film for you?
Probably the blood in the elevator.
I sound like I sound blood in the elevator.
Yeah.
I would agree for the most part. The blood and the twins are like visually the most.
So real quick, the twins are Grady's kids, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But they're not twins.
They're not twins. They're just dressed the same.
They're just dressed like.
Well, who cares? Call them twins.
Yeah, whatever. Everyone calls them that. And they were twins in real life, so in the film.
In our reality.
In our reality,
so
they
not
were
in
twins.
the film.
In the film, they're not supposed to be twins.
I getcha.
I think for me though, when I think of, and that was the most memorable, is when Wendy's walking up the stairs and she has the bat.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, and she's like crying. Oh. This is when he's like, Wendy, light of my life.
Yeah.
That for sure. I don't know, when I think of The Shining, I think I actually kind of think of that first because we saw this film on Halloween in theaters. That and also the door scene, I'm just like in my stomach, I'm like, oh girl, like do something. I think those moments create the most anxiety for me, and so they're more memorable maybe.
The one that I'm always confused about is when the Wendy's running away and she sees the hotel coming to life.
Yeah.
And then there's the dog man giving another guy who works at the hotel, giving him oral pleasure. I don't get that.
I think it's just disturbing.
But That's what I don't like. It's like, why? There needs to be a reason. Don't just make things.
Well, one, Jack goes into the ballroom for the second time, the Golden Ballroom, and there's a big party going on, and there's all these guests, right? So, like, more and more physical, like, ghost people are revealing themselves. So, maybe that's something that went down.
Oh, like there was just some people into some kinky
Furry
stuff?
Yeah, I don't know.
Could
It's
be an
possible.
explanation, yeah.
Because every time I watch it, I almost forget about the scene, but remember the part where he's asleep at the typewriter and he's like screaming and Wendy wakes him up. He's like, I had a dream I killed you guys, and you just see the remorse in his face, but also it's kind of trippy. You're like, wait, what?
Well, because Jack doesn't want to kill his family. He's not like a bad guy. No, he doesn't.
I think
Jack Torrance, the man who was a professor and was in Boulder or whatever, didn't want to kill his family. He wasn't the best husband. He has a temper, not the best dad, but he didn't want to kill his family. It's when he came to the Overlook that they started tempting him with more alcohol and like causing his temper to go off and stuff like this and lose control of himself, which he was already prone to do. And that's why he was like frightened, because he was kind of shook back into reality that he didn't want to do that, but he was being forced to.
that was a lot of great ideas, Travis. Thanks for sharing thoughts and
Thanks.
ideas. You mentioned this earlier.
Arlayar. This is an Irish podcast.
I
I can call it a podcast. One
It's
video.
not a podcast.
Sorry. I have a podcast called Curiosityness, available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Visit curiosityness.com.
So you mentioned this earlier already briefly, but what was your exposure to horror films growing up?
None. Zero exposure to horror films. Scariest thing I saw was Howard the Duck. And it scared the crap out of me because I wasn't
I don't
used to that
even know
stuff.
what Howard the Duck is.
It's just a duck, and
Cartoon?
no, it's a live action thing. He's like a Muppet style. I think it's a guy in a costume wearing a duck costume, and there's like lightning and stuff at the end. I don't remember much, but yeah, zero exposure to that.
What was the first scary movie that you do remember seeing though?
Paranormal Activity.
Really? Like that was the first. Excuse me.
Well, I saw Scary Movie 3.
Oh, okay.
No, but Paranormal Activity, because I went to the theater like with my friends to see that in like middle school or whatever.
Did it scare the crap out of you? Because that,
No.
I mean, that's a long time for you to be like in middle school and that's your first scary movie. That's a.
I mean, I was worried going into it, honestly, but I was like with my friends, so I was trying to be cool. It didn't scare me as much as I thought it would, which was nice. I felt anxiety and emotional. Not like I felt scared, but I realized it wasn't as bad as I thought. So that's what kind of opened me up to like wanting to watch some more.
Will you? I kind of know the answer to this because I know you, but will you see horror films in the movie theaters, or do you feel like you need to be safe at home, like in a very specific environment?
No, I'll see him in the theater. We saw It, the new It.
Sure.
Look,
I feel like I've asked you to see movies with me though, and you were like, I'm not gonna see that. Like you wouldn't see Hereditary with me, and I was like, I want to see that, and you were like, I'm not watching it.
but I'm not gonna watch it at home or in the theater.
What?
No, neither place.
I know. We saw Get Out together as well.
In the theater.
Yeah. Lastly, what is the scariest movie you've ever seen? What movie just like freaked you out? You were like, I'm never watching that again.
I've never had something like that. Not
Okay.
a movie. But a real lifetime. We were watching the news, and a guy escaped from prison and was loose in like Orange County where we were living, so I was really scared. And I stacked up a bunch of stuff in front of the front door in case he busted in the front door, then he knocked over all the stuff and we would hear him.
And your name's Kevin McAllister, and your name's for Harry and Marv. Okay, so maybe you can separate yourselves and movies don't affect you in that way, but like, what's the scariest movie you've seen that you can think of at this moment?
Probably the new It.
Really? Okay.
This is pretty scary. I kind of think about it every time I walk near a storm drain.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not recently, thanks, but now I will that you brought it up.
I wanna thank my guest Travis DeRose, and
Do you kiss all your guests?
yes,
Wow.
you're my first, so yeah, I kiss all of them.
Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure being here. But here's a call to action for anybody watching. If you've read the book, have you read the sequel called Dr. Death, I think it's called, or Dr. Sleep or something like that? And let me know what you think, because I think I want to read the sequel after I finish this book.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Subscribe for more content, or don't.
Scare Pal!